Week motherfucking 2 power rankings. Here we fucking go again, boys. Number fucking 12. I'm gonna give y'all what y'all need to do, possibly going forward, and where you're standing currently right now. Number 12, Team Blue. I ain't even saying your whole name. You don't deserve all that. Charleston, Javorius Allen, Sammy Watkins, Shane Vereen, all in the starting lineup. Odell Beckham not playing again. This week, your power rankings is low, dude. Worst squad in the league currently right now. You're battling for the last squad, worst squad in the league with the two next teams. You all might as well be neck and neck this year. So, yeah, it's work for y'all boys to do. I mean, trade has to happen. You got to consider getting Odell Beckham out of there and getting quality players into your starting lineup. Your starting lineup is amazingly weak. You do not own a decent halfback on the roster. Not one. That's why you're starting Javarius Allen and Chris Sims this week. You know, like, it is what it is. Like, it's going to be a tough year for you. Like, you probably better off throwing Adrian Peterson in the starting lineup this week and hoping he falls into the fucking end zone. Tough one for Hellrell this week. Tough one for Hellrell for the whole season, matter of fact. Next team falling in the power ranking as well, just like Hellrell did. Fucking Team VAR. Lost David Johnson pretty much for the season, holding up a roster spot with him pretty much indefinitely, weakens your team also. You have not one decent wide receiver on the fucking team. Not one decent wide out on the entire roster. Not one. Don't own one. You have two quality backs, good tight end, and bad quarterback play. If you weren't a possibility of like, oh, some of these players like Tyler Lockett, some of these players, Jonathan Stewart, getting more work than I thought he was, Christian McCaffrey and Marshawn was possibly blowing up, you would be the worst team in the league this week. But you are my best bet for the worst record in the season this year. So, at least you can hold that up, Hellrell. Like, so don't stress that too much. Next fucking team in the league, coming up from the bottom, now you're here, 2 spots up, we got my boy, motherfucking Team fucking Truth, Bubsky, trying to get back, and I ain't even mad at you. Like, good pickups for Ted Ginn, big blow piece. Like, you were weak out of position. You had to get Terrence Williams out of the starting lineup. You can't trust him every week. You threw him out there. You went out there, grabbed Jermaine Kearse. Like, I'm not mad at that. I mean, Frank Gore and Mark Ingram aren't really scaring anyone, but you got goddamn Aaron Rodgers and Gronk. That means you got a solid foundation to build for it, and you got the number 1 waiver pick. So that's pretty much a hitter on staff if you use it correctly. But you got to use it correctly. I would most definitely suggest the trading of one of those tight ends for a mid to, second level, number 2 player, projection piece. You need to divest in that tight end stack you got down there. That ain't going to win you games when you have so many weak other points on that roster. That can only work if you were strong everywhere else, and you damn sure ain't strong everywhere else, baby. So make sure, you look into that and try to get that happen. Major precipitous fall for fucking Black EU. Number 9 in the fucking power rankings. Tough fucking season ahead for Black EU. I love Todd Gurley. That's my boy. The quarterback work leaves plenty to be desired out here. Jacquez Rodgers is going to start for you 3 weeks. Martavius Bryant is on your bench. Like, understandably, you're starting J.J. Nelson and Terrence West. Calvin Benjamin has yet to show up for like 2 seasons. He was out a year, stunk last year, started stinking early this year. A.J. Green, big blow piece. Delaney Walker, mid-upper level tight end. Devontae Parker on your bench right now. I don't know what the fuck you're doing, dude. Like, I mean, at a certain point, man, you got to throw boys out there that can blow. Man, Terrence West, if you going to start Jacquez Rogers or Terrence West, you're going to start one of them boys and put that motherfucker Devontae Parker in there. You've made a blunder this week, homie. Tough year ahead for Thad motherfucking B. A lot of waiver work. Number two in the waivers. Hopefully you can steal a killer out of Bubsky, reinforce that roster that's frail. Because you looking like balsa wood out here. Yeah, them old Larry Holmes and they all flabby and sick. All that waste all over your roster right now. Next up, coming up a spot, is my boy, goddamn Megatron Chavis. Even though he needs to change his team name to something respectable, but, you know, let him do what he do. I ain't really going to hate on him. Tom Brady, Devontae Freeman, LaShawn McCoy. Strong starting joint. Terrell Pryor, he can play better. Hopefully he will going forward. Devontae Adams, he can play as a decent low-end number 2 wide receiver. Mike Wallace, Jordan Matthews, you know, you're going to be in for a long year if those are the boys that you want to start. Duke Johnson, you know, Joe Mixon, boys you can't start. Corey Davis, I do like that. Thomas Ross, you got to keep him on the roster. You probably need to cut CJ Prosise. You don't need to invest in 2 low-end flex plays at best on your roster, and you're holding the defense on there. Dude, there ain't even really no need for that. Patriots D stinks. And you're wasting the opportunity to pick up a possible blow piece this week holding a stinky defense. So get your shit in line, dude, and move forward and build. But you might think about making a deal for one of those backs for a 2-for-1 for a quality wide out and a quality back. Look forward for deals coming through eventually soon, Tron. But of course, you won week 1, so you won't be thinking you need to make a move. But unbeknownst to you, this is the week you got to make a move. But on to the next one. My boy Sean doing his thug dizzle. I'm not mad at him. Sean out here, number 7. You know, around the same place he was at last week. Zeke good. You know, Lamar Miller good. Mike Evans, Jarvis Landry, you know, don't believe in Jordan Reed. He can't stay healthy. Thielen, good joint. You got to do work. You got a bunch of empty spots on your bench. I'm hoping you about to be picking up boys to get you right for week 2. Should have did this days ago, though. You had a lot of trash on that roster. But keep grinding for it, boy. You'll get up there, no doubt. Patrick's Farms. Next man up, number 6 in this week's power rankings. Quality roster, like the Gillensy start. Jordan Howard good. Mariota don't necessarily believe him long term. Killers at wide receiver all the way up and down. Quality niggas on the bench. Like Tyler Eifert, good set this week. It could be reckless, but it's a good fucking set this week. Like, I can understand the set for Tyler Eifert. But you know, as we start moving up in the joints, we're talking about big spoon fucking money. I like Killer Spoon. I like the Jarvis Land. I like the JJ Ajayi, move. Like, he's coming back into the starting lineup. That's a nice one. Team Heat. Early auto picks, but you coming around. Got Jameis Winston back. Antonio Brown, Doug Baldwin, Golden Tate, Jamison Crowder. That's a strong roster. You need to start theoretical Isaiah Crowell. You got to start one of those boys. You need to cut Sam Bradford now. You have got to go out there and go and drop Bills D. Gotta drop Bills D. Got to drop Bills D. Can't roll with Bills D no more. You wildin', Duke, on your bench. 2 defenses on your bench, you're being reckless. Any team in the league. LOD coming at number 4, falling from the number 1 spot, but I'm still a killer. You know how it go. So LOD, strong roster. I ain't gonna be telling you what I need to do or don't need to do. The boys gonna do what they gonna do. I got quality players up and down the roster. They're in position to have a good week this week. Gotta fight to goddamn lay this G down. So, it is what it is. Game is what it is. Number fucking 3 coming up in the power rankings. Doc motherfucking Money. Hitters all over his roster. It gets real from this point going forward. Doc has little to no weakness on his roster besides having to start Chris Hogan or Brandon Marshall. He needs to look for someone to hold that spot. Hopefully it can be someone like Allen Hurns or Willie Snead. But he's got a strong roster. Kyle Rudolph, who knows what's going to happen now that Sam Bradford is injured out here. But we'll see going forward. 2 decent running backs, number 3 team in the league. But he can take a loss this week. If these boys don't show who they are. I'm thinking Brandon Cooks is a killer. He's going to have to prove it this week. You ain't no killer if you ain't shot nobody. Number 2, number 1 in fucking points scored last week. Team fucking Power. Strong roster, top to bottom. Quality boys on the bench. He needs to cut Evan Ingram. I don't believe in him this year, but he could possibly still blow. Nelson Aguilar, I don't believe in that pickup, but I understand why he did it. Marlon Mack, good pickup. Cameron Brate, you're just hogging tight ends. That ain't going to make your tight end position better, having more of them on your team. But it is what it is. Solid at the quarterback position. This is a solid roster. Dangerous team in the main league, as usual. Astute GM work, Team Power. Respect, 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 respect. Number 1 in the team, man. League champion, reigning, hitter. The Don Dada, better team than he had last year. Tavion Lane, going through rolling boys over this week. Tariq Cohen, good pickup and start. Can't start Rob Kelly this week, against the Rams. Nice decision. Dez Bryant, Jordy Nelson, Keenan Allen, Eric Decker. I would almost say I would throw in that Galladay over Decker just for the chance of him blowing. I don't trust Decker anymore at this point. But, man, to each his own. James White on the bench, Corey Coleman on the bench, good, talented players all over the bench, man. Tavion Lane, reign supreme, boy. Reign on, reign on.